An 8-year-old girl was shipped across the sea to marry a stranger. She would never become queen, but every English monarch since has been her descendant. Her name was Matilda. In 1110, the daughter of England's king sailed to Germany to marry Henry V, a man nearly 20 years older who would soon become Holy Roman Emperor. By age 12, she was crowned Queen of the Romans. By her late teens, she was governing Italy while her husband crushed rebellions in Germany. She was learning to rule an empire. Then came the shipwreck that changed everything. In 1120, a vessel called the White Ship struck a rock and sank off the Norman coast. Among the dead was Matilda's only brother, the sole male heir to England's throne. Overnight, she became the most important woman in the medieval world. When her husband died in 1125, Matilda returned home carrying the title Empress like armor. Her father made an unprecedented decision. He forced every noble in England to swear they would accept a woman as their ruler. Her cousin Stephen swore the oath. They all did. Then her father died. Stephen broke his word within weeks. While Matilda was pregnant and unable to travel, he seized the throne, the treasury, and the crown that should have been hers. What followed was 19 years of war so brutal that chroniclers wrote, "Christ and his saints slept." Matilda never surrendered. In 1141, her armies captured Stephen himself on the battlefield. She was proclaimed Lady of the English and prepared for coronation in London. But when she demanded tribute in what chronicles called an imperious tone, behavior that would have been called leadership in a man, the city turned against her. A mob drove her from Westminster before the crown could touch her head. The war dragged on. Trapped in Oxford Castle in the dead of winter with enemy forces surrounding her, Matilda did the impossible. One frozen December night, she was lowered by rope from the castle walls, wrapped in a white cloak. She crossed the Thames River on foot through the snow, invisible against the winter landscape, and walked miles to safety. It was the kind of escape that would have made a king into legend. For an empress, it was just survival. By 1148, exhausted but unbroken, Matilda withdrew to Normandy. She hadn't won the crown. But she hadn't lost the war either. She had a son named Henry, and she spent the next years preparing him to claim what had been stolen from her. In 1153, after Stephen's own heir died, the barons forced a treaty. Stephen could keep his throne until death, but Henry, son of Empress Matilda, would inherit it. The 19-year war ended not with a battle, but with a signature. 1 year later, Stephen died. On December 19, 1154, Matilda's son was crowned Henry II of England. The Plantagenet dynasty had begun. For 300 years, her bloodline would rule England. Her great-grandson would sign the Magna Carta. Her descendants include Richard the Lionheart and every English monarch since, down to the present day. When Matilda died in 1167, her son Henry, who called himself the son of the Empress, said there was nothing in the world dearer to him than his mother. Her epitaph read, "Great by birth, greater by marriage, greatest in her offspring." She never wore England's crown. But she made absolutely certain her blood would wear it forever. For centuries later, when Mary Tudor became England's first crowned queen, she walked a path Matilda had carved through stone and ice and refusal. The Empress didn't win the throne. She won something better, she proved a woman could fight for it. And in doing so, she changed the story of power itself.